Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic for SVG, that is transform function. So in this session, we will discuss what is transform function, how we can utilize it in order to make some modification or manipulation into the graphics. Okay, but before we discuss the topic, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. Now for time being, we are just focusing on the transformation method. Here I want to make sure tell you one thing, that there are multiple functions that can be considered as a transformation function, which are as follows: translate method. We have first method is translate method, then we have scale function, then we have rotate function, then we have skew x, skew y, matrix. So what we will do to understand these things in a simpler way, what we can do, we can divide these all method in 3 sessions. So in today's session, we will only talk about translate as well as scale function. Now those who have watched the series of Canvas, they might aware of this concept, because in Canvas also we utilize the translate, scales, rotate, skew and all these methods, right? But don't worry, for SVG we will discuss everything from scratch. So here we will discuss about the translate and scale method. Okay, so here if we talk about the code is simple and straightforward. I have just noted down one title in the head section, and there is one heading which is HTML by Tech Sharmit. Now what we will do, I'll save it and refresh the code web browser. So you can see HTML by Tech Sharmit is printed here. Now it's time to put some more heading. So here I'll write transformation formation functions in SVG. Okay, now after that what we will do, we will write H3 heading, and here I'll put 2 functions that we are going to discuss in this particular session, which is translate function, and second one is, let me copy it, second one would be scale function. Okay, don't get confused, sometime I call it as function, sometime I call it as method, so it is up to you, but yeah, both are same. So here I'll write scale. Perfect. Now it's time to see these concepts practically. Now we all know that to draw something or to add something on a web browser, we need either Canvas or SVG, and right now we are talking about the SVG, so let's add the SVG here. So for that I'll add the SVG element. Here I will write the height and width of this. So I'll simply go and write height equals to 500 pixel, width equals to 1000 pixel, and now we will put one style here. So I'll write style border 5px solid black. Clear? Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you can see all the required headings, subheadings, topic name, and SVG has been added on the screen. Perfect. Now it's time to see the things practically. So today we will talk about the translate function. Now what is translate function? So the translate function is used to move an object by X and Y position. So just assume a scenario where we have one object which is placed with X equals to 5 and Y equals to 5. Then another object contains the translate 50 and 0. This means that the other object will be placed at X position 55, at Y position 5. Don't get confused. This is just a calculation, but things would be more clear when I'll show you it practically. So let's see how we can do it. So to achieve this thing, what we will do, we will simply draw one rectangle first. So let's draw one rectangle in SVG. Here I'll write rect. In this rectangle we will put height and width, but prior to that let's put the value of x equals to 5, y equals to 5. Then we have width. In width we will put 40. In height we will put 40, and then we will put fill equals to blue. Perfect. Now you can save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you can see that one blue rectangle has been added on the screen. Okay. Now what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to draw another rectangle with the same kind of attribute, but there we will use the translate method. So here I will keep everything same, like x equals to 5, y equals to 5, width would be same, height would be same, fill color would be different, just to show it properly, okay, and differently. So I just saved it and refreshed the browser. So once we refresh the browser, you can see that this new rectangle is overlapping the old one. Why? Because we have kept the x and y value as same. So how to fix this? So to fix this thing, what we will do, we will use the transformation method translate. Now I'll show you how it works. So firstly we will write here transform. In transform we will write here translate, and value would be 50 space 50. Perfect. Now let's save it. Now what will happen? Look, here we were using the value as 5, x value as 5 and y value as 5. Now what it will do, after translate, 5 plus 50 would be 55, so it become 55x. 5 plus 50, 55, so it becomes 55 plus y. So let's save it and refresh the browser. So once you refresh the browser, you can see now okay, let me do one thing here. Instead of 55 we will make it as 0. I'll tell you why. So you can see now it is coming like this. Okay, so what we did, we just replaced we just changed the position, or you can see we just manipulate the position of the shape using the translate method. Now 50 plus 5, 55, so x position is 55. 5 plus 0, y position would be the same. Why? Because I want to keep it in the same line. Clear? Similarly, in case if you want to change it to 50, you can simply change it to 50. In this situation, it will came in the 50th y position. Why 50th? Sorry, 55th position. 50 plus 5, 55 position would be red rectangle. Likewise, if you make it as 60, it would become 60. Clear? So this is how we can use translate method in order to manipulate the shape of the not the shape, the position of the graphic. Clear? Fine. Now the next function that we will discuss here is scale method or scale function. So to show that, I'll remove this rectangle part. Here I'll add one circle. In this circle we will put the value of circle. So assuming that you know about these things like cx, cy value, because these all things we have already discussed in detail in previous session. So cx value would be 50, cy value would be 25, and then we have r value which would be 20. Then we have fill color would be red. Okay, now you can simply put transform here. So let's put transform, but this time let me show you first. Okay, so let's save it and refresh it. So you can see one circle has been printed on the screen. Perfect. Now we want to draw another circle, but with transform method, and transform method specifically scale method. So let's add that. Here I'll write transform equal. So what the scale function will do? Scale function will let me tell you the exact definition. So the scale function is used to scale an object by x and y. So you can say it enlarges the object. If y is not provided, it is set to be equal to the x. Okay, so this is also a thing, like if you are not providing the value of y, by default it would consider the x and y equal. Clear? Fine. So let's utilize it. So here I'll write scale, and value I will provide here 2. Let's save it and refresh the browser. To show the difference, let me change the color. Okay, and also change the position of x so that everything looks good. I'll make it 100. Save it. So now you can see one circle has been added, and it is the enlarged version because here we are utilizing the scale function. Clear? So this is how we can utilize scale as well as translate transformation method. Don't get confused. Sometime it might be a question in interview, what is the difference between transform and translate? So you can simply say there are multiple transformation method, out of which translate is one of the method. Clear? So today we discussed two transformations method. One is translate and another one is scale. I hope this session is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.